A week ago I was genuinely considering making a video like the problem with the Shotgun Farmers formula or some rant video just kinda bitching about the game. And I still do feel those feelings. I mean, Quasi's dropping these updates. Season 3 released at a pretty suboptimal time, 2 days before Christmas for the Christmas update. So the community got bored of it faster and then ghosted everyone for 6 months on updates for Season 4. I really still think that constant TikTok updates, you know, fan involvement, that's the stuff that made Shotgun Farmers really popular in 2020, and just like ghosting I just don't think it's the move. But finally, 6 weeks after the official Twitter account said that they would announce the map soon, we have finally gotten not like a TikTok or a trailer, but the splash screen, I believe, for Season 4. And yes, finally, Season 4 of Shotgun Farmers is going to be Eastside, and that is kind of insane for me to actually say. This was a concept I posted in December of 2020, and then I added more stuff to it later on, like the superheroes like Bachman, who is featured in this splash screen. It's 2024, and I'm almost at my senior year of high school when I made that concept art in 8th grade. It's crazy, but I'm also super glad because if Eastside came out before SF 2.0, we wouldn't have been able to get a battle pass with it or the cool, like, background. Like I said in my Podcast 2 episode, which by the way you should watch, I was super scared that Season 4 was going to be like mountainside or cliffside or jungle side or something like that. All signs pointed to Eastside, but like, I mean, it's SF, bro, like, what do you expect? So yes, I was shaking when I first saw it, but now that it's kind of cooled over, I'm going to talk about what I want from the map, what I think the season's going to be like, and when we're probably expecting this update. I know it's hard, but we're going to have to ignore Bachman right now and talk about the actual city. We don't see a lot, I mean, it's just a city, but it does look really good. It also quells a lot of fears that I had for the map. I'm super overprotective of it, but like also there's a lot of freedom and stuff that I haven't thought of that Quasi should probably put in. One of the things though is that I want it to be like New York City, Newport City, whatever. I want it to be, I mean, it looks pretty much like how I want it to be. I want to see some billboards, funny street names, stuff like that. One thing I was scared of was for the 2022 devlog that showed off like the Switch version and potential Moonside and Foreside Horde mode. He talked about how Neon had this like neon futuristic cyberpunk like 2099 type city. And I was afraid that that was what he was going to make Eastside, some hyper-realistic type city. But no, it does look just like a city, so, you know, there we go. Like I said before, I think the fun part of a city is that it's basically like a playground, right? Like if you think of Super Mario Odyssey, New Donk City is like just a big playground you can run around in. I want like graffiti, like I said, nice like street names for Easter eggs, billboards. I think that would all be super cool and making it feel like a lived-in city. In terms of like how the actual layout is gonna look, I have a couple ideas. I think there's probably gonna be like a park area if I were to guess. Quasi said that he wants to add like a museum to part of the map, so that'll probably be like on the side, like on the block, you know? The Statue of Pigarty, like the Statue of Liberty, like parody will probably be visible from like the shore. I think that the taxis are gonna be actually like you can jump on them and it gives you a boost because of Super Mario Odyssey specifically. One of the super vague tweets before the season was announced in like March or April said, "The view up here is super cool while testing Season 4, something along that line. So that means a couple of things. At the time I feared that it meant that it was mountainside or cliffside or hillside that was being announced, but now that we know it's Eastside, what does that mean for us? One, it means that we're going to be able to go on top of these tall buildings, either through like an elevator, which is what I pitched, where you just walk in, press a button, it takes like 2 seconds, you know, the door's closed, it goes up to the top. I don't know how that would work. I feel like that would ruin layout and like make it super easy to camp or whatever, but like I want to see how he does it totally. Number 2, it means like he's just standing and like on top of a building that you're not really supposed to be able to get on top of, and it just looks good. And number 2, they're just lying. They just said that for some reason, like, I don't know. In terms of layout, I hope it's really good because the last 3 maps, Northside, Foreside, and Moonside have all been deemed competitively bad. Even though I do actually like Forest Side, even though the beat is a little overpowered and I wish they brought back the filter on it so it's a little harder to aim. And Moonside, I strictly don't like it because of the zero gravity. I don't think that's anything that he can actually fix, but I feel like there's a lot of open space, and with the zero gravity it kind of pushes me away from that map. So I don't know how good of a comp map this is going to be. I wish it's a comp map so I can play it every day in 1v1s and 2v2s, and so that when I mention that we should play it, I don't immediately get hit with no. But also, if it's just fun for regular game modes like free-for-all or team deathmatch, I'm not going to care. Because this is, I'm going to say right now, I'm going to have the most wins on Eastside. I'm going to grind it out over the summer. I'm going to try to get to as many as I want to be the guy who has the most wins on Eastside. Because, dude, I will never get tired. This is my map. I will never get tired of it. That's all about, like, the actual map that I, can think of when it comes to, like, the things I've been bitching about for years. Now let's talk about, like, what the actual image is. Bachman with the Bach logo in the background, and it looks so cool. This is a really good splash screen, and I actually think I'd prefer it over a bright and sunny city, like, skyline. I think I actually prefer this a lot more. I did create the Bachman in this 3-person concept art with Iron Ham, Captain Crop, and Bachman, each of them being a respective parody on Superman, Iron Man, and Batman. This was like a later edition though. I think in 2022 I made this concept art after Quasi had revealed his first bit of Eastside concept art of the statue of Pigerty, and then that general city one, and someone had pointed out that it might be cool to add superheroes. And I'm a superhero nerd, so it was like, of course. I'm not super cynical like most people, especially most people in the SF community are of superhero themed stuff, so I'm completely all for this. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen Bachman outside of just my concept art. Quasi showed off for the Among Us crossover stream concept art of Bachman that took very heavy inspiration from mine, keeping pretty much all the colors the exact same. Though he put gloves on the character, which I think is, I don't know why. I'm looking at my concept art right now. I don't know why I didn't put gloves on Bachman. But it kind of looked one-to-one with my original concept art, keeping the black, yellow, and red. However, for the actual model, it looks like they carried everything over one-to-one except the color. Or at least the primary color, as the heavy black has now turned to white to more resemble actual Bach. Quasi pretty much follows his concept art one for one, so I'm actually kind of surprised he changed up the color, but I'm guessing during the process it made more sense. Why would the chicken be black? Batman's black because bats are a darker color, chickens are bright white. So although I made Bachman as a parody, I think it works better if he's white because it just, that's what chickens look like. It actually kind of gives me like Moon Knight vibes with the cape. He looks super cool, and I'm actually curious if the city is going to be dark or during the daytime, because the season theme is going to be superheroes in cities, so I'm guessing there's going to be a bunch of superheroes in the Battle Pass. But I'm wondering if there's going to be that box signal, if there's going to be dark and rainy during the actual map, or if it's just for the screenshot. Although I imagined Eastside during the day, I think during the night with the lights on and all the blasting billboards and stuff, I think that could look really cool. This might be a little too much to ask, but I've been asking for this for years. A day, a night toggle for all the maps. I think having a Type B during the night with, bright neon lights or candles or stuff like that could look really cool. Especially if you change up like the gun spawns and stuff like that. That's why I really like Countryside at night, even though I don't think it should be a new map, I think it should just toggle. I'm actually completely fine with either one. Speaking of the whole superhero themed one, that brings us to our Battle Pass. I'm guessing it's going to be primarily superhero themed with probably 2 to 3 superhero skins. And with that coming a bunch of shovels and badges and shotgun skins and stuff like that, so that might take up roughly half of the Battle Pass. But I think adding in like a businessman, which might be hard because there's already a billion skins, or like a police officer, I think stuff like that could go a long way, even a construction worker, stuff like that. I did make 3, I'm guessing Iron Ham probably will be in the Battle Pass, I'm not actually sure. But I'm actually curious if they would come up with any other superhero characters that I didn't pitch. People talking about how they don't want superhero stuff in Shotgun Farmers. Dude, please, give me badges, give me freaking skins, give me shovels, give me all. Dude, I will eat all the superhero stuff up. Are you ready for the rampant speculation part of the video? It looks like Season 4 is going to be the longest gap between seasons, as Season 1 between Season 2 was roughly 6 months, from late January to the middle of July. I'm guessing this is going to be from late December to late June, or even early July, making it just a little bit longer. Now it could be because Quasi's working on multiple different things, trying to update the Switch, working on all the other different seasons before they come out even, or it could be a little bit bigger of an update. This is Quasi's favorite one. I don't have to find the quote, he's said this multiple times, so it would make sense if he's going all out for this update. Is it possible for an Eastside Horde mode with robots and a supervillain you have to take down? It is possible. Could the statue of Picardy come to life and you have to fight that as a boss? I think that would be super sick. Could that be the reason for why it would be dark and stormy? Because the superheroes have to go out and fight the bad guys. It's possible. It's certainly possible. We haven't had that yet, where a map comes out and then immediately gets a Horde mode with the same release. We haven't had that yet. I think that would be a cool drop to do. Give the map more purpose, more utility. Cross progression, maybe. I'm not sure. Quasi hasn't hinted at it, so I feel like this would be something that he's been teasing, because cross progression is something that literally every single person wants, and it's just hard to pull off with in-game account system and in-game partying across platforms, stuff like that. That's hard to pull off. Some people think creative. I think that's possible. I think, personally, I think I would save that for its own update, but I think it's certainly possible. I just really want the horse pet to finally be added into the game, called Bucket of Glue. And, oh, I forgot, dogs. The dog pets are coming out in this game, or in this update, which I'm super excited for. I'll flash my whole Battle Pass concept art, which is like every single tier of the Battle Pass, as like its own unique items with badges, titles, pets, everything like that. So that if any of them get put in game, I can kind of just archive it here in this video. But yeah, I think Quasi kind of heard all of the bitching about no update, so he would show off something pretty tiny, which, I mean, reveals the season theme, right? But I'm going crazy over it. I think it's super cool, and I can't wait to get my hands on this update. I'm hoping that there's a little wink or nod in the map somewhere to me. Not that there has to be, right? I'm gonna play it anyway, but a Dekeef graffiti or a street sign or something like that, or a billboard, I think that would be super cool. But I don't know. I don't want to be too naggy about it, because it's freaking Eastside getting put into the game. That's crazy that I'm finally saying that. I'm super excited though. It depends on how much Quasi shows off in the following days, whether it be a trailer or, I'm guessing, a TikTok. Season 3 was first teased actually in mid to late November with the Season 3 splash page, and it took roughly a month for it to come out, for the actual update to come out. So I'm guessing either late June or early July for this update, which I can totally wait for. Just put the Dekeef hat in game. Thank you.